Today I want to give you some players that I was very disappointed in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season. Starting off, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown came in with a lot of hype, a lot of expectations. People are saying he's the next Paul George, he's the next Jimmy Butler. Well, all those comparisons need to stop right now. Jaylen Brown averaged 11.7 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, also 1.5 assists on the season. Now, he came off the bench. His confidence got basically slapped in the face. He was humbled a little bit playing with the Boston Celtics. You know, guys, when Kyrie Irving came back and Gordon Hayward came back, the same players that thought they were going to have bigger roles and were going to be impactful like they were last season during the playoffs really didn't get that opportunity. But when they did get that opportunity, it seemed like they struggled a little bit, especially Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown wasn't attacking the basket like he was last season. Shot selection has been very poor, to say the least. And also his basketball IQ, he makes a lot of mistakes when he's on the offensive side of the floor. He's still a great defender, but I think defending is his calling mark in the NBA. But people were saying, I was already a little like pump the brakes when people were saying he's going to be like Paul George, he's going to be like Jimmy Butler. But this year, he really showed me that he's going to be a good 3-and-D type of player in the NBA, nothing more. At best, he can possibly be a Michael Finley type of player if he reaches his full potential. I think maybe a little bit more athletic, but Michael Finley was a stud in the NBA. I think that's the best comparison if he reaches his full potential and works on his skills and his game. But I don't see him being this 7, 8, 9-time, 10-time NBA All-Star like some people were projecting. And hopefully he works on his game in this offseason and comes back with a vengeance, because this season he really fell off to me. Another guy that I was very disappointed with was Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon got his money, 4-year, $70 million contract with the Orlando Magic. He played really well last season, but this season it seemed like he took a step back. He averaged 15.7 points per game, about 6 or 7 rebounds per game. I'm not too sure on that number, but it just seems like once he got his money, it's kind of like, okay, he kind of chilled out a little bit. And he showed a lot of promise last season. Like, okay, they moved him to the 3 spot instead of the 4. So he was playing a little bit small forward. But we don't know what the right position is for him. But in positionless basketball in this new era, it doesn't really matter. But he has a mid-range. Sometimes he has a 3-point shot. He's super athletic. I don't know why his game kind of struggled this season. I'm waiting for Aaron Gordon to kind of put the full pieces together, because his body type, and he's screaming like a Blake Griffin type of player. But for whatever reason it is, he hasn't really developed as I thought he was going to develop this regular season. And he kind of took a step back from last season. Maybe it's the Orlando Magic. That's why I hate when guys get drafted with the Orlando Magic. That's why I hated that Markelle Fultz got traded to the Orlando Magic and Obama got drafted to the Orlando Magic. It just seems like they do not know how to develop players. It just seems like these guys aren't developing as fast as some of the other young guys in the NBA. So Aaron Gordon, I was really kind of disappointed in him in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season. Another guy, Gordon Dragic. Gordon Dragic was hurt a lot of the season with a knee injury. When he came back, he wasn't really effective. He came off the bench for the Miami Heat just as Winslow took his spot as the point guard. So that tells you all you need to know. And Gordon Dragic has always been a third-tier type of player. Sometimes Gordon Dragic screams like this guy can be a potential all-star each and every year. Other times it seems like he's just an average point guard who's going to start on a very bad team. And it seems like he's in decline as well. Getting to the basket, he really struggled. His three-point shot wasn't that great. And that was his calling card in the NBA, shooting a 3 and also getting into the rim, floaters, getting fouled. And he has a $19 million player option. Of course, he's going to pick it up with the Miami Heat. It would be stupid for him not to, because he's not going to get $19 million anywhere else for another team in the NBA. But Gordon Dragic really fell off this year, and I was very disappointed that when he came back, he couldn't even really help the Miami Heat in their playoff push. It kind of just seems like he came back to a bench role, and he was kind of content with that, and he really didn't help the Miami Heat push for that H seed and that final spot in the playoffs. Another guy I was disappointed with is a guy I kind of defended too much, and everybody knows this, and this is Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins averaged 16.3 points per game, about 3.9 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Jimmy Butler left. Everybody was like, okay, he's about to go back into the Andrew Wiggins he was before Jimmy Butler came, averaging 24 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. We thought that Andrew Wiggins was going to be that version. But when Jimmy Butler left, it seems like he got even worse. And for all that money that the Minnesota Timberwolves have gave him for the upcoming years, I think he needs a new situation. I think he needs a new start. I think he needs to be traded. But who's going to take on that big contract? Man, he still has a lot of potential, but at some point you have to start showing that potential. And his shot selection is very questionable. There's a lot of long fadeaway twos. Defense, he really doesn't play hard, even though he's a capable defender. He's super athletic. But I was very disappointed because I thought that I was like a whole lot of guys that were saying, it's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler really came in and took away from the process that Andrew Wiggins was going. Because like I said, he was averaging 24 points before Jimmy Butler came. And then Jimmy Butler came. It's just kind of like, is Andrew Wiggins the third option? What option is Andrew Wiggins? So I thought with the ball in his hands and more opportunities allowing him to create and score and to make plays, that he was going to shine without Jimmy Butler. But it seems like it wasn't Jimmy Butler's fault at all. It just seems like Andrew Wiggins has regressed. And it seems like he's regressed each and every year since he's got into the NBA. He'll show flashes. He'll have a 40-point game here and there. He'll do crazy things. But overall, this season, he was very, very disappointed. He's probably the number one guy that I was really, really disappointed in the 2018-2019 NBA regular season.